Hey everybody, it's Tasha, and this is my recap and review for Season 1, Episode 5 of The Gifted, titled boXed. So this episode had three main storylines. The first was focused on Jace Turner. The second was around the Strucker family. And the last was the consequences of Sonia using her abilities on those around her. So I'm going to start off with Agent Turner. We learned a lot more about him this episode, or more, we got to see it actually play out. He's a very layered and complicated character. Initially, he comes off as the bad guy because he's hunting an entire species of people because of their abilities. And while we were told little about his backstory in the past, it's very different when we watch it unfold. By the end of the episode, it becomes very clear that mutants are not without their culpability. Things just aren't that simple or that black and white. We ended last episode with Reed and Lorna escaping Sentinel Services custody and reconnecting with their significant others. And this episode picks up with all of them on the run and deciding that the best course of action would be to split up. So Lorna and Marcos take a car going in one direction, while Reed, Caitlin, and John head in the other one. The latter of the two groups makes it back to the safe house, but Marcos gets stopped by Sentinel Services. Lorna quickly dispatches them, but opts to kidnap Agent Turner so they can try to get intel on where his agency is holding other mutants, like John's best friend, Pulse. During the interrogation, Agent Turner doesn't tell them the information that they want, but he does tell them a bit about himself. He explains why he's so steadfast in his determination to capture them. He explains the loss of his daughter on July 15th that was caused by a group of mutants, and you can see how deeply affected they are, especially considering they're about to become parents themselves. But in the end, they push through and continue their interrogation. This story runs parallel to Reed Strucker's, who has finally been reunited with his family, but due to his actions in the last episode, where he almost betrayed the mutants, he's not exactly trusted. Everyone is questioning if he should be allowed to stay at the base, since Sentinel Services is hunting for all mutants and raiding all their hideouts. So he has to prove himself, and he chooses to do this by helping John figure out where the manhunt is focused and acting as bait to redirect their search efforts. Meanwhile, his wife and kids work to save the life of Shatter, who helped in the rescue efforts. That part of the story wraps up fairly neatly. Reed's ploy to redirect the search efforts works, and Caitlin manages to save the injured mutants. So now they've proved their worth, and they're seen as an asset to the mutant undergrounds. But while the Struckers are gaining the trust of those around them, Sonia is losing it. Throughout the episode, we see Blink is still struggling to reconcile the memories she has of her and John with what she knows to be reality. She quickly becomes suspicious of Sonia having something to do with her strange memories when she can't recall the rest of the conversation that they had in the prior episode. That suspicion is amplified when she overhears one of the other mutants at the base tell Sonia she may have to use her gift on Reed Strucker to help him forget their hideout if he doesn't prove to be an ally. Blink's suspicions about Sonia's abilities are essentially confirmed when Lorna requests that they come to where she's holding Agent Turner and sift through his memories, since he won't give them the answers they need about where the rest of the mutants are being held. Sonia does what's asked of her, but unfortunately, Sentinel Services breaches their location before she can properly cut the link, leading to a devastating moment at the end of the episode where Agent Turner returns home, excited to see his wife and tuck his daughter in, only for him to have to go through the grief and heartbreak of learning that he lost his daughter all over again 4 years prior. By the end of the episode, we see that there can be some horrible and damaging effects of mutants' powers. Now Blink is angry, and rightfully so. She also feels betrayed because Sonya used her abilities on her without her permission, and Agent Turner is bound to be even more fervent in his need to hunt the mutants. All in all, this was another solid episode that really left me curious as to where this series is going. I want to find out if Sonya using her abilities on Agent Turner and his memory lapse was a one-time thing, or if there's going to be long-term issues with his memory because she didn't cut the connection that she had with him properly. And I'm also looking forward to seeing what happens with Blink when she realizes that John knew that Sonya messed with her memories and he didn't say anything either. As the leader of the group, that was a pretty poor decision for him to make because she's not going to be able to trust him at this point. And if she doesn't trust him, then she's going to be less motivated to help him. Anyway, what did you guys think of the episode?